Cinematography is the most important thing in film.
How you decide to use that visual language to tell your story
is going to be different filmmaker to filmmaker. And I mean, even within the same filmmaker, it's going to be different story to story.
How you move the camera or don't move it.
If there was no sound, it would still be a film. If there was no set design, it would still be a film. If there were no actors, it would still be a film. If there's no script, it would still be a film. Films can exist without all those things, but if there's no camera, you're not making a film.
Creating that image that describes and tells your story, because as the old saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
It's a mixture of like technical understanding as well as like artistic and creative flair and understanding.
You've got like this array of tools and techniques that you could use, but how are you going to use these techniques and these tools to create the story you want?
Rather than just being, beautiful or pretty. Well, I mean, being beautiful is important, but also it needs to really show the world in the story.
and activate something or capture something emotionally that really can connect you to the content and the story and the characters.
Usually it's attached to the main character, not always, but usually it's attached to the main character. And what you want is for that emotional experience of your audience to be congruent with what the character is going through, because that helps you attach to them and feel your way through the journey with them.
But really, it's all to tell the story. Like, what is your story saying? Therefore, what is your image saying? And that's good cinematography.
I feel like you need to find the cinematographer which has the same sensibilities to you. And it's not more so finding a cinematographer who knows more technical things or owns more technical gear and stuff like that, but really has the same type of aesthetic approach and values as you do. Because you're really trying to incorporate your sensibility through your work in every department.
But also, I don't think you should look for someone that's the same as you necessarily. Find someone that's going to bring an extra layer of style and understanding of your story.
Otherwise, you just might as well shoot it yourself.
Obviously, one, communication. I guarantee everyone's said the same thing.
If you can communicate very well, they won't know what you want and what the story requires them to do.
Because sometimes a director will be like, oh yeah, I just love it. Can we put the camera down here? And the cinematographer will be like, yes, I can do that, but it's going to take 4 hours to get that done. And so while we do that, we lose all of this stuff that will help you tell your story. Do you really need that shot? And sometimes you say, yeah, I really need that shot. And sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. But if you've got a nice taut, direct communication and vibe with your cinematographer, then I think you make some good stuff.
An ego can be an issue. You really want someone that you can talk one-on-one like a partner without there being sort of power games.
You want someone you can trust, and you want someone who speaks your film language.
You'll see it a lot in Hollywood films as well. Like camera movement is like, you pretty much will very rarely, at least in the big stuff, find stationary cameras.
You want your camera to be motivated by something. If you have a shot that the camera's just moving and doing all this crazy stuff for no reason because you think it looks flashy and you think, oh, this is going to be cool, it's probably not going to look cool.
When I'm talking about Filler Boy and in terms of camera movement there, we use movement as a tool to express loudness and the quietness of the story. And point of view. I think in Filler Boy, what I really wanted to do is create a dichotomy of energy where you have this really still imagery and you're really focusing on the performances. And there's some where it's really erratic, where you could feel the point of view of the characters. And it's really using movement to portray or to depict the characters' point of view and experiences.
See you later. Yeah.
Oh.
Gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Picking up.
Thank you.
So the scene that I had really clear in my head was cutting between the love scene and the two boys boxing. And movement was crucial in that because when it came to the edit, the movement of both lovemaking and boxing blended into each other and they spoke to each other. It didn't feel like these two diametrically different things. They felt like one action.
Stillness is harder. You know, when you're still, you're keeping the audience literally waiting with bated breath for what's going to happen next. And so again, it's about tension.
My film was sort of about being stuck in a stillness and a depression and stuff like that, so it seemed appropriate.
Some Denka wrap on the top shelf of the pantry. Thanks. It's in a basket.
I'm fine, Mum.
In 808, lighting informed the story quite a bit because what I wanted to do was when they're kind of in their sanctuary or their underground sort of escape from this highly technological kind of disassociated, desensitized world, I wanted their sanctuary to have like quite a warm feel to it and the outside world to be quite like dull and like fluorescent lighting in the office and like that sort of thing. And that kind of drew the two worlds apart and gave more understanding to the audience of like where we were in the narrative.
My film Book of the Older Ways there was a lot of night scenes. But because I wanted it to be fantasy, I wanted it to be a little bit light, a little bit hopeful, I chose to light the night with this like bright blue, this sort of 90s Hollywood blue, like which wouldn't suit a film that's more like a horror or something that wanted the night to be frightening. But I really wanted to illuminate it and make it feel like it was a warm and safe place. For example, I shot a little bit at nighttime in the rain. And so in order to do that, I had the rain backlit with this sort of blue light. And that's important too. If you ever want to shoot rain, make sure it's illuminated from the back, because if you shoot it from the front, it would disappear. This is the scene that was sort of an embrace between a mother and a long-lost son. And so I really wanted the scene to be full of magic. I wanted it to be full of hope and full of sort of a really sweet farewell. And so in order to do that, I backlit the scene with this blue light and had the rain going through that. And what it created was this sort of glowing spirit-like ambience, which really enhanced the mood and enhanced the overall emotional arc of that particular moment too.
Goodbye, Mom.
I'll tell you a story about cinematography, right? So I was on this set and I had this amazing mentor figure, and we happened to be co-directing a big Netflix job on set with me, but he hadn't come onto it yet. And we were shooting down this passageway, and we had these two characters, a male and a female, and they were like going through this massively tense confrontation that ends in this like beautiful flourish of a kiss. And it was beautiful. We had light in the far distance, and we had light right in the the foreground. It was great. A lot of shadow, a lot of light, a lot of power. And I was like, I'm really feeling it. I'm sitting behind the monitor. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And my guy, my directing colleague, bumps you on the nudges me like, yo, this will be great if we put some water on that wall so that we really just heighten all of the light that you're looking for. So I was like, yo, man, it's going to take like 20 minutes. He's like, trust me. So he does it. He's It's like, I say, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Put light on the wall, water on the wall, and now all of this light is like just popping everywhere. And it told, the scene was told so much more dynamically because of that small suggestion. I think that's what cinematography is. So suddenly you had these two people in conflict in this beautiful, shining, glittering environment, and it told it. It told the story. So, yeah, cinematography is like everything that you put into the image and all of the different choices and decisions that get you there, that tell it better.